Like, let me turn this music off, man. Brooklyn. Pen Griffey with the pen. Let's stop playing, man. 40/40 Club. Let's stop playing. Never Lost on the album. Dude's been going hard in the paint, man, since he basically came in the game. I'm gonna round it up and say 25, man. Let's be clear. You know what I'm saying? Dude has just been nice, man. If you don't know who we got in the building, man, let me just play it a little bit so y'all know what's going down.
So I'm dizzy on the cross from the drift of the rain, the wine spilling from the cause of me splitting the waves, the effect of giving you war from a christening stage. I turned all of the above into Opus 1, the one who treated magnum opus like an open run. So now I got a line of those, how redefine those, reaching the duffel and pick up one with your eyes closed. The gist of it be, my catalog's like if a brick was for free, cause it don't matter what it costs once you lift up your sleeve. It's like peeling and sell it off for who your king used to be. The crown mine now, fitted high, fitted should
Come on,
man. New album, man. Keep me company. 13 tracks is stupid. Woo. Bars.
Bar work.
Leave it to the sound of a poem to walk you back to the light, or you could drown on your own.
That's what we call sliding. That's what we call sliding.
Skyzoo is in the building. Let's be clear.
Peace. What's going on, family?
What's happening, bro?
Mr. Bar work.
Man, the intro of y'all logo, that was a hell of an intro, man. Like the line of the music, you know what I mean? And the Goodfellas cuts, and that was a hell of an intro, man. I was like, that was crazy, you know what I mean? Like, that was crazy, man.
How to introduce you in the right way, brother.
The right way, let's be clear.
Y'all intro for the show, like your theme song.
Oh, that's true.
Like you know, your Family Matters, your theme song, your opening joint, you know what I'm saying? That was crazy.
Got you doing the Matrix, huh?
No, that was crazy. Man. I was like, oh, word. Like, and then, of course, the intro, man. I appreciate y'all, man, 100%. Appreciate the words and how y'all feel, man. I appreciate the love. It's good being here, man. Like I told y'all off the air, man, when you scrolling, that yellow logo was there, baby. You know what I mean?
The bat signal, baby.
And I love it, you know, because, you know, y'all are there doing the right things. A lot of people, when you scrolling, it's right there, and they doing other things. Y'all are doing the right things, you know. So it's like my man Mitch said. I see you doing good things, B. Doing good things.
Speaking of good things, man, that's why we had to have you on, brother. We had to have you on.
We had to have you on, brother. Seriously.
So welcome. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it, man.
We appreciate
I'm glad
you
to be here, man.
Hey, glad to have you here, brother.
When we hear the name, when we see the name Skyzoo, when we see the logo, chef's kiss, man. It's always the bar work. Your pen game is always right. You know how to pick beats. Like, you know how to craft a full album. But a lot of cats don't understand where it started. Where did your love of hip hop come from? What was mom and dad playing in the house, man, as a kid?
Yeah, you know, I got young parents. My parents had me at 20. So, you know, by the time I'm 7, you know, my parents is 27. You know what I mean? So,
all right.
Man, NWA, Big Daddy Kane, Eric B. and Rakim.
There you go.
Hit and Play, BBD, PE, of course. You know, KRS. Man, it just, you know what I mean? Like the whole gauntlet. So, you know, that was before I even started rhyming. That was in the pot. That was happening around me. Then. You know, growing up in the P's early on, I'm in the P's, you know, we lived on the 18th floor. So I opened the window, I looked down out the window, you know, kids outside shooting dice in front of the Saab and then, you know, in front of the, you know, Infinity and in front of the Jeep, the 2-door Jeeps and all that, and blasting hip hop out the window. And, you know, my door was right next to the staircase. So like if you go out my crib, right there is the staircase to go down 18 flights or whatever. So of course, kids is in the staircase, burning it down so the smell will get under the door. I've rapped about it. I mean, I've said it in records. You know, I'm sitting at the kitchen table writing rhymes. The smell of bud is coming under the door. Like all that happened. So that was my surrounding. You know what I mean? And when I talk about looking out the window and seeing and hearing certain things and rhyming about that as a kid, you know, that was the kind of the backdrop for me. And I started rhyming when I was 9. Chi Ali, age ain't nothing but a number. You know?
Okay.
That was the record that made me say I want to do it. I'm at the crib, and I've talked about this in mad records, but you know, I'm at the crib, video music box, Ralph McDaniels, you know, all that. And man, this video just comes on. Little girlie, listen to me. Stop giggling and kissing to me, trying to refrain from playing the childish games. And I'm just like, oh, and I look up and it's a kid. He's not 9, but he's not 28 either. He's 15. So he's the allure was, it wasn't like he was an adult that I couldn't relate to, but it wasn't like he was my age and we could have been in class together. It was, he looked like the kids in the lobby that was tagging on the mailbox and shooting dice. And those are the kids when I went to school every day with my moms, I wanted to be like, you know what I mean? Like, the older kid. So he was 15. He looked like the 15-year-old kids on the park bench burning it down when my mother sent me to the store, you know? So I'm like, yo, there's the allure, you know? And when the video went off, I said, Ma, I want to do that. I was 9 years old. I said, Ma, I want to do that. And she said, go do it, you know? And that was it.
Nice.
So I picked up the pen at 9. You know, I started rhyming right away. It was serious from day one. And then by the time I was like 12, 13, now we talking Liquid Swords. Now we talking Only Built for Links. We talking Ready to Die. We talking, you know, Illmatic, of course, the greatest hip hop album ever of all time.
Let's be clear.
I'll say it like that. You know, so those things is happening now. I'm 12, 13. I'm playing ball. I'm getting my Penny Hardaway on. And that's the music that I'm listening to all day. I'm a Penny guy too, man. You ask me who my favorite player is now. It's Penny. Penny ain't hooping.
Penny was nice.
Penny was nice.
Penny
was nice.
You ask me, my favorite player right now is Penny, and Penny ain't hooping forever. Fact. So, you know, I'm young. I'm outside at the park. Boom, boom, boom. I grew up the block from Biggie. You know, big block, big crib is 45 seconds away. Literally, I had to walk by big crib 100 times a day. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
So like, I had to go to school. I had to come home. I had to go to the supermarket. I had to come back to the house. I had to go to Chinese spot. I had to go to Kennedy Fried. You know what I mean? I literally had to walk by big crib 100 times a day, every day. So if it ain't no more inspiration and in the DNA than that, I don't know what else is. You know what I mean? So me and this little 11-year-old kid, 10-year-old kid, watching them film Juicy up the block and watching all this stuff happen. That was happening. Like, we on Fulton Street, like, yo, what are they doing over there? We're 11, 12 years old. What are they doing over there? And they filming Juicy, you know? So it was what it was. We would be sitting on the step, you know, trading basketball cards, and Little Kim will walk by. You know, that was normal because that was the neighborhood. Little C's will walk by. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that was the neighborhood. Those was the OGs in the neighborhood. Still are, you know? So that's where it all came from, man. And, you know, my biggest inspirations, of course, Big, Jay, Nas. I would say around that age as a teenager and all that, you know, The Genius was, you know, huge for me, man. Liquid Swords was my life for like 6 months. You know what I mean? Like, Liquid Swords was my life for like 6 months.
Classic.
Not more, you know. And like I said, Illmatic is the greatest album ever, without a doubt. I tell people all the time, if somebody came from another planet and came here and said, what is hip hop? Just give them Illmatic and walk away. You know, I think it's the best representation of it. So Illmatic is the greatest hip hop album ever. Jay is the greatest ever, neck and neck with Big. And to me, Mos Def is up there. People always be like, word, like my top 5, Mos Def is in it, you know. So it's just all these different things. And, you know, then by the time I'm in the 9th grade, now it's the Locks, you know what I mean? Now it's Mace. You know, Mace is one of my goats, you know. For the way I write, I tell people all the time, Mace taught me how to write songs without ever knowing that man. You know, for me, people like, damn, Mace work. I do no Mace slander on my timeline. You know what I mean? Like, Murder is that guy. Be like,
Mace, man.
Because when I was a kid,
Murder Mace,
9th grade, Clue tapes and all that, I was, you know, just 100 bars in the lunchroom on a table. My man bang on the table, and I'm just going to war. In 9th grade, and then I heard this dude with 16s. And I heard this dude with hooks, and I heard this dude change his tone and talk about being fly and talking about, you know, letting something go, but then talk about kicking with chicks, and then talk about growing up uptown and all these different things with this tone that was so
fly shit,
relatable and marketable and the flyest ever, and fitted over the eyebrows. And I was like, yo, what? And like, okay, this is how you got to write. So now I go from, you know, writing 51 bars, you know what I mean? Because I couldn't count bars, right? 51 murder bars to hearing this dude named Murder and being like, oh, that's how you, okay, bet. You know what I mean? So, you know, Murder is everything for me. Jadakiss, you know, the Lox is my favorite group ever. I told Heads, thought Jadakiss was Jesus. I just wanted to be the Lox. You know what I mean? So like that all is this big pot. And then you add like Slumville and Dilla and you know, Black
Detroit.
Star. How do you have the Lox and Black Star in the same pot on the stove? Well, you get Skyzoo when the pot is turned off. You know what I mean? Like that's the best way to describe it. Like you put Mace and Black Star and the Lox and the Genius and you know and Jay-Z and Nas and Big and then you put, you know, some Scarface and some 3000 and you put Chi Ali. That's a wild pot. You know what I mean? Like what's happening with this pot? Like he listening to State Prop and then he listening to Slumville. Like what's happening? You know what I mean? And this is why the music come out the way it do. You know what I mean?
What was Skyzoo's mindset in creating Keep Me Company in addition to what you shared, you know, coming up, you know, inspiration wise for, you know, this thing that we call hip hop culture?
Yeah.
What and or who was the inspiration for your latest 2024 album, Keep Me Company? Well,
for every album, the whole 5 minute soliloquy I just went on is in the pot, right? Like that's always part of, those are always the ingredients that go in every pot of an album, no matter what. But then for this one, you know, every album is a concept with me. You know, every album is a concept. Mind of a Saint was conceptual as far as Snowfall and me taking on the persona of Franklin Saint in the literal sense, literally being like, yo,
right.
I'm Saint. You know what I mean? Like literally I had to become Saint for the album, and then for the deluxe, which was 7 new songs, almost another album. It became a new album.
Crazy.
So I had to become Saint for real. And that's a whole nother thing we can get into if y'all want down the line. But you know, you look at that, you look at All the Brilliant Things, which is solely about gentrification. You look at Milestones, which is solely about fatherhood in urban America, specifically Black urban America, fatherhood, right? And a lot of rappers wouldn't tackle that, wouldn't talk about that, and you know, wouldn't see the significance of dedicating an entire album to it, you know, not even a song, but an album to it. All in celebration of us, which was about the plight of Black folk, you know, our highs, our lows, our ups, our downs, the things that are done to us, the things that we've done to ourselves, which in turn are a reflection of what was done to us, and really having this discussion about Black people and who we are and our culture being stripped from us, and at times us giving it away or selling it, and this validation and all these different things. That's what In Celebration of Us is about. So with this, Keep Me Company is about growth. You know, if I had to sum it up in one word, the concept is growth. And knowing that as an artist, as a fan, as a listener, all across the board, as a man, as a human being, it's growth. And there comes a moment of growth, and there's a growth spurt that every single person watching, everybody in the chat, everybody home, y'all, me, everybody, is a growth spurt that happens that whether you want it to happen or not, it's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like it's going to happen. And I mean strictly emotional and mental, just like if it was physical, it's going to happen. You know, like you can't stop it. And a lot of people try to deflect it and try to, you know, I mean, hold off on it and, you know, prolong it, but it's going to happen. So when you think about growth, now it comes to the point of embracing it. So now, whether you realize you embrace it or not, you might start seeing things different. You might hear the music differently, things that you might have signed off on and okayed musically before. You're like, yo, wait a minute, y'all was tweaking. Like, yo, that ain't what it's supposed to be. They not doing that right the way, you know, whatever it may be. It may be the way you handle things in your personal life. It may be the way you handle business, the way you interact with others, and the things you see, you like, nah, that's kind of, but 10 years ago, I might have looked at that a different way, you know? So those things start happening and you realize this growth. And then when you come to accept it and embrace it even, you start feeling alone in it because your peoples may not be growing at the same spurt as you are. Other people on Twitter, hip hop fans that you cool with, or yo, they like this bullshit, or they don't like this, how they don't get this, you know, whatever it is. Yeah. All these different things start happening. So now you feel alone. You feel like you're on your own island. And then you meet somebody like y'all, and it's like y'all feel the same way. So now I'm like, oh, word? Y'all feel that way too? Hey, yo, come keep me company. Come over here, man. I got room at my table. Come keep me company. So that's where the title came from, you know. realizing you're not alone in your growth spurt. That's the long and the short of it. You know, realizing you're not alone in your growth spurt. So don't be afraid to embrace this growth. It's like I said on Finders Keepers, you know, my white tees went from a 2X to a large. The size you know, so you look at it like I'm in the park all day hanging out, rolling 2 L's together like Nas, boom, boom, boom. We was doing what we do. Yo, man, we outside. Yeah. And then when you grow up and you kind of remove yourself from some of that activity and some of that train of thought, you know, the clothes you wear, it's literal and it's figurative, you know. So I'm like, my white tees went from a 2X to a large. The sizes in between the large, the XL, it was left in the park. Like I left it behind me. It's a trail, you know what I mean? But my seat is still on reserve until the benches is gone. Early gentrification felt like espionage, you know what I mean? In my view, drilling on the prints of the wall where you catch your breath. The same wall you was leaning on to catch your breath and all this madness, you've been leaning on it so long, like it's like you left your prints there. Like when you sit on the couch and you got your print, you've been leaning on the wall in the lobby so long, like your prints is there. My view is drilling on the prints of the wall where you catch your breath. My intuition kicking the door like Inspector Deck, you know, like when Deck came in, he kicking the door, you know how he started verse off.
Right.
I'm saying of when I need to change and when I need to grow up and when I need to embrace certain things, kicking the door that real and that hard, like how Inspector Deck would kick in the door on his, you know what I mean? Like my intuition kicking the door like Inspector Deck, like first up, never miss, perfect way to settle in, all in together and treated like it's inheritance. A red or blue pill at a clear up the in-betweens. My glasses turned me into Sincere and M&G's. You know, when Nas and Belly and him and DMX went to M&G's in Harlem, the diner, the restaurant they went to was called M&G's for everybody watching. It used to be uptown, gentrification shut it down, but it was a big spot. But Nas, you know, Sincere went up in there and talked to Buns and had his glasses on, looked different, went to M&G's and was like, yo, I'm out of here. I'm going to Africa, man. I'm giving the bins. I'm going all this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, my glasses turned me into Sincere and M&G's. The belly of the beast. Now we talking belly like the movie, but the belly of the beast. But we talking belly being in M&G's, eating, da-da-da-da-da. The belly of the beast won't appear if he been in reach. Like, you don't feel the belly of the beast. He can't appear if he already been there. Like, if the evils and all that been around you because of what you're doing, he can't pop up. He's already been there. I can't pop up at your crib if I'm already in your crib. You know what I mean? So it's like the belly of the beast can't appear if you've been in reach. But all in all, should have seemed fair if we get to eat. So what we talking? I never did much of that. I never did much of that. The introverted extrovert who lived out a duffel bag. Everything become a 2-for-1 if you double back. Said if you buy the skinnies, the confetti will come with that. If you know what a skinny is, cool. If you don't, you don't. You know what I mean? But you know, it's just it's been coded my entire career. You know what I mean? It's been coded my entire career, but it's always been layered and doubled and tripled, and it's always been, yo, I need to sit down with this. It ain't something you listening to while you cleaning your crib. You know what I mean? Ain't music. Like, is you sit down, you got to take a road trip, you got to do 2 hours drive from state to state. Yeah, throw that on. You got to, you know what I mean? You getting on the train going to work, you got 40 minutes on the train, throw that on. You know, like it's always coded. It's always going to take multiple listens. And that's on purpose, man. One, because I grew up on all the guys that I told you I grew up on and the way they did it. You know, I had to listen to Liquid Swords 100 times. I had to listen to, you know, all that coding that Ray and them was doing. You know what I'm saying? Ghost said ravioli bags, and you know what I mean? Like all that coding. I know what a ravioli bag is. I know exactly what that is. Okay, I got that. You know, like all that coding, but also too, it's for the listener, man. It's caring about the listener. If you're a listener at home, you in the comments, you in the chat right now, you listen to somebody's album and you got it on the first spin. What's the point of you getting it? You know what I mean? What's the point of you spending that money on it or that time on it? It already served its purpose. You play a game, you a gamer. You play a game and you beat it on the first shot, you beat it the first night, you could have saved that $60 and that should bet the GameStop, you know? So like, but if you can continue to play that game and it take you forever to get it, the beauty is in the journey. So if you listening to me and years go by, you're like, yo, I just got that. Oh shit.
Facts.
Yo, we still getting shit from Reasonable Doubt. You know what I'm saying? We still getting
Facts.
You know, Illmatic. Yeah. It was written.
Yeah.
So we still breaking down Black Girl Lost, and you know, so that's what it's about. That's what it's about, and that's the shit I grew up on. And I was like, if I'm gonna do it, I got to do it like that, you know. So all of that was my training, my schooling, you know. So now when I go, every trip is a double. Every trip, every line is a double. Every one. Like, you're not gonna listen to me the first time and be like, you got it all. You might get a line or two, yeah. But nah, you not. There's no way. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way. So that's where it's at, man. So for the album, it's just about growth. Just going back to what you asked a minute ago, man. It's about growth. That's the best way to describe it. Every single record points at that and talks about growth. And it's the story of growth, you know.
I'm glad you actually gave us an inside look to an MC, like, because what you're saying is, I got a blank canvas and I can paint you something with this blank canvas. You're going to still have questions about this painting.
About what you're looking at.
There's going to be something in there subliminal that you're going to find later on. And it's different than being a rapper. A rapper might have 10 writers in a room with him. You know what I'm saying? He's getting bars handed to him. You're actually,
trust me, because I be one of them handing them off. You know? Like,
exactly.
I be in writers' rooms and it be me and three other dudes writing for so and so, and then I be in rooms where it's just me and I'm just writing such and such for this person. Here you go, or me and so and so, we writing together for so and so. So absolutely.
And that's why your albums are perfectly crafted, because there is a paint stroke with each line, with each. I mean, even when you're picking out beats, this is meaningful. There's something tangible 100%. Behind
That's a science, man. That first of all, it's a science, but it's a gift. The same way writing is a gift, the same way, you know, having a handle is a gift, having a jumper is a gift. Like, picking beats is a gift. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a real gift. And everybody don't have it either. Let's be clear. Everybody don't got it.
Oh, not absolutely. And we see it every day. You know, we see it every day. There's been debates about it. There's been albums that have been saved because of it. There's been albums that have been doomed because of it. It'd be like, damn, this pen is crazy, but the beat ain't right. Or be like, damn, some don't really be talking about nothing, but them beats be going, you know? So, like, it's definitely it's definitely a gift and a blessing, you know? And I don't take that lightly. Being able to curate an album, being able to put an album together, being able to, you know, pick the beats that tell the story. I tell heads all the time, every record of mine, I write to that beat. You know, I don't write rhymes and find the beat later. You do that when you were a kid. You know what I mean? Like, when I was in high school, I wrote to every instrumental. I wrote to Money Cash Holes. I went to Rough Riders Anthem. I wrote to, you know, Feel So Good. I wrote to everything. I wrote to Victory when I was in high school. You know what I mean? But, you know, when you, once you get forward, it's different. So for me personally, some people write, some people just sit at home and write, you know, with no beat and find a beat later. And that's cool. If it work, it worked. But for me, everything is intentional and direct, you know, so I write to the beat that you hear. Also, every album, however many records is on the album, that's all the records I wrote for the album, you know, so God forbid I tap out. There's no extra music. There's no extra music laying around. And the reason for that, again, everybody's method is right. There's no wrong way. Everybody's way is right as long as what comes out is what it's supposed to be. But for me, an album is a book. I don't know too many authors who, if the book is 15 chapters, they wrote 20. You know what I mean? Like, every book, they told a story. You know what I mean? Like, it's chapter 1, 2, 3. Once they got to chapter 12 or 14 or whatever, that was it. They didn't write 20 chapters. You know, let me take that whole 9th chapter out. Let me take that whole, you know, 6th chapter out because, I don't put, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a whole block of a story. How you going to take chapter 6 out? How you going to take chapter 9 out? You can't do that. So when I write every record, that's it. There's 12 records on the album. That's all I wrote. It's 14. Wow. That's all I wrote. You know what I mean? Like, and I knew when it was done. It's a story. And I was like, I'm done. This is it. I told the story. I have the vision, almost like a vision board without being a vision board. And I'm like, all right, first joint going to be like this. Second joint going to be like that. I know what I want the last joint to be. The last joint, this beat Son sent me the other day, that's going to be the last joint. Okay, cool. That's the last record. We're going to end it like that. We're going to start it like this. We're going to figure out the sounds for in between. But they got to kind of do this roller coaster sonically to go this way. I know in the middle of the album, I want to have a record talking about this because it's going to hold hands with these other joints before and after it. I got to find a beat for that. And it all goes in order. And I also write the album in order. So track 1 is the first track I wrote. Track 2 is the second track I wrote. Track 3, third track I wrote. That's how I do every record. I write it in order, you know?
So you sequence as you going.
Yeah, well, hold up.
Amazing.
Help me out with this though.
Yeah.
What's the science behind the album cover for "Keep Me Company" with the Laundromat?
Yeah, so shout to my.
Because everybody's like, okay, what's okay? I get everything. I hear the James Baldwin. I see Riley Freeman on the joint.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But what's up with the Laundromat though?
Yeah. So my man Valentine, he shot a couple covers for me. He shot the Easy Truth cover.
Valentine.
Shout that out. He shot the Retropolitan cover. And I told him, I said, yo, working on a joint. We had the conversation. I was telling him what it's about, growth and everything like that. I said, yo, just go wild, you know, just go wild. Just take a day and flick it up and, you know, send me the joints back. And he sent me a handful of different joints and it was in different places. And that one just stood out because when I saw it, it was like, okay, when you're on a laundromat, you kind of by yourself. So keep me company. Facts. You kind of by yourself. I don't know too many people. Yo, son, meet me at the laundromat, bro. I need these clothes. We're gonna kick it. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of by yourself. Maybe you and your whiz, maybe you and your shorty, but it's pretty much it. You kind of by yourself, you know. So then with that, you have that element, but also too, it just felt like it's a laundromat, it's cleaning shit up, you know. And when you growing, when it's growth, you're cleaning everything up, man. Like the things that you was into, the way you used to move, the way you looked at certain things, you ain't like that no more. You cleaned a lot of shit up in your life. So that was really, it was those two elements. And I hit him. I was like, bro, that's the one. The laundromat shit is the one. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And I ran with it. So that was, it felt like it was saying what I was saying on the record, you know? So
they want to give, like Iceberg says, a lot of people want to give the Gumby haircuts, metaphorically speaking, and not give the customers often what they want or need. So can you talk about the importance of becoming more malleable, more flexible with their creativity?
100%. You know, as an artist, it's a little more difficult to have that balance when you should. You know, you definitely should have that. As a producer, right? Let's take a producer, for instance. You might have a producer, man, they could do a super underground hip hop joint today. The next day they could sell a pop record. The next day they could sell an R&B, you know, India Re type joint. You know what I mean? Like they can do all these different things. They could sell a trap beat today. They could sell you know, I mean, Kanye was one of the greatest examples of that. The Neptunes are some of the greatest. Just Blaze, you know, like Just Blaze was doing PSA and doing Christina Aguilera, and you know what I mean? Like, you know, there's all these different things. So as an artist, it's a little harder to do that because it's a brand. So it's like, man, how you gonna come out today, you know, doing this and in the mall do pop and the next day you doing a trap record? So it's a little different for that. But I say all that to say we need that balance. We need that being able to do more. What I hate is when you hear an artist and it's like if you heard one record, you heard them all. Even the records, even an artist that you love. It could be an artist you love, right? Because that connotation is negative, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But even an artist that you love, it could be somebody, whether they mainstream, underground, whatever, like, yo, son, get busy. Man, if I heard one record, I heard them all. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that with me.
A lot of cats like that too.
Vacation album, and then you heard a Fatherhood album, and then you heard a Growth album, and then you heard a Black album, you know, about us as Black folks, and then you heard an album about being 13 years old and how that shapes the rest of your life with Music for My Friends. And then you heard an album about bringing the sound of New York back and being fed up with it. And that was me and Pete with Retropolitan. You heard, you know, Reflection with me and Apollo Brown with The Easy Truth. You heard just straight bar work with me and Torae with you know, Barrel Brothers. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can't say if you heard one Skyzoo record, you heard them all. You cannot say that. The only thing you can say is there was double entendres on every record. That you can say. But other than that, you can't say that. You know what I mean? So, but going back to your question, that balance is extremely important. And it's what's going to continue to further hip hop beyond the 50 years that we've been blessed to see. So, you know, all that's important, man. As far as the ghostwriting element and how that plays into it, because I know that's how we started. My first ghostwriting gig was in 2014. So about 11 years ago. It was like in the spring of 2014. So like 11 years ago, and me and my brother Illmind, you know, we was out.
Illmind, yeah.
Shout
That's
out
my
to
brother.
Illmind.
That's my
Shout out.
brother, man.
Shout
we
out.
was out. We was out of town doing some work. He was, you know, getting some beats placed with some people, and he was telling me that the people he was getting beats placed with, they needed writers. And he had went out there, and then a month later he went back and he brought me with him. And that's my bro. He was like, "Yo, come out, man. We'll get the room, get the double beds and split the room and thug it out and get the rental and whatever we got to do." I was like, "Damn, bro, like you my brother." You know what I mean? He was like, "Yo, you gotta come out on the next trip." I went out with him, and he put me in the room, man, and he making beats, and I'm sitting there writing and recording, and the person came in the room, and he pressed play. I was like, "Yo, who that on the rhymes?" I was like, "Yo, that's him." He was like, "Yo, who you?" I was like, "Yo, I'm Skyzoo." Yo, that shit is crazy. Yo, what up? And it just started rolling. And it was like, "Yo, when you come back?" Came back, and then I was there a week. I was supposed to be there a week. I wound up being there 3 weeks. You know, it was like, "Yo, don't leave." Pull me aside. "Yo, you got to leave tomorrow." I was like, "I don't have to leave." "Yo,
I don't have to. Yeah.
Stay for 2 more weeks, man. We gonna get you in, you know, put you in a suite. We're gonna get you this, gonna get you that. We're gonna get you, you know, the rental, blah, 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 the luxury rental." I was like, "All right, bet." Boom. They did all that, and I was there 2 more weeks, you know, going crazy. So, and it just kept going. And it, you know what I mean? And now it's just like, all right, I gotta do this over here, I gotta do that over here, I gotta do this. All right, boom, boom, boom. You know, so all that stuff started happening. And the thing with ghostwriting that's cool, I get to flex this whole other side that I kind of wouldn't really do on our side. You know, I wouldn't do on our side because I'm like, as Skyzoo, I wouldn't do that. But I could go over here and get this trap record off. I could go over here and get this strip club record off. I could go over here and get this R&B record or this pop record. I can get these records off and then still come over here and get with Pete and do us all good and get with Apollo and get with who, you know what I mean? I could still come over here and, you know, write an esoteric. I can't sell an esoteric to such and such, but as Skyzoo, I could sell an esoteric, and as my fans, that's what they want. As my fans, they want jazz in the projects. They want, you know, Home Away from Home, a courtesy call with Chuck D. When I go over here, all that Mace shit I was doing back in the day that I was talking about, like, yo, Mace raised me as a writer, that muscle, I could kind of get that off now when I'm writing for these other kids. All that Mace influence, I could throw that. Oh, now I could get in my murder bag. You know what I mean? I can get into my come if you want. I could get into that bag. You know what I mean? Like now I can get into that bag that raised me when I was 14. So you know, it's kind of that thing, man. And when I pen for other people, you know, Skyzoo's not in the room. You know, it's I can't do all of this there. I'll throw a double in there here and there. I'll throw a double entendre just to kind of put my signature on it.
Right, yeah,
but you're never going to hear somebody and be able to tell that I wrote for them, because what's the point? And the funny thing is I could hear, being that I'm in it and I know who get help and who don't, I'm like, oh, son get help, she get help, he get help, you know, whatever. Because you know the market. Now you in it. You know what I mean? So you know all the other behind the scenes, like, okay, word, they got writers, okay, cool. Now I'm one of them writers, whatever. And I could hear people and be like, oh, I know who wrote that. I know who wrote that. I can hear it. Not because I was in that room, but I could just hear it. I'm like, oh, that's son. That's so-and-so. With me, you can't say that. You know what I mean? I've seen Facebook debates. Yo, who's Sky write for? Yo, I bet you he write for so-and-so. I bet you he wrote such and such. I bet you he did this. And half of them be wrong, half of them be right. I'll be like, oh, wow. Okay, word up. Yeah,
they can hear it.
I was over there. Well, they may not get the song, but they'll get the artist. They'll start naming artists, and I'll be like,
but do you think like ghostwriting is just like a part of hip hop? Like it's not like a bad thing? Because again, with R&B, like you know, R&B is going. You know, we cool with the R&B writers. So
now, I'm gonna tell you why. I love answering this question. And this is the same exact question has been asked me a couple times. The difference with R&B is in R&B, it's all about the songs, but it's about the singer, right? You can take Usher, There Goes My Baby. Usher could sing it. Trey Songz could sing it. Bryson Tiller could sing it. The Dream. Everybody's version is going to sound different because it's about their tone, the octaves, inflections, all these different things. Yeah. As an MC, we're not singing. We're not really dancing. We're not doing all of these different things. It's about the pen. So it's like, if your pen ain't moving, what you here for? You got an R&B artist, you know, you may have a you may have a Mary J. Blige, you may have a whoever, you know what I mean? And you know, Usher, everybody know, you know, Heads write records for Usher all day. Neo wrote records for, he wrote for Mario and blah, blah, blah. Awesome. It's about that tone. It's about, yo, when Usher go, he go. Yo, when when Whitney was going, she was going. It don't matter who wrote it. When Mariah go, she go. It don't matter. Brian Michael Cox wrote all that, and Jonathan Austin and all that. When Mariah get that record, she goes. She goes somewhere that nobody else can go if they had the same record from Jonathan Austin and Brian Michael Cox. You know what I mean? So it's a different thing. But when it comes to MCs, you're literally only here to rhyme. You're only here to write this rhyme. You don't got to dance. You don't got to sing 9 octaves like Mariah. You don't got to do none of that. You don't got to spin like Usher. I saw Usher in concert. He on roller skates, skating around, singing. You know, singing on roller skates. I'm like, we can't do that. You know what I mean? That's amazing. Right. So like, we only here for that pen. But on the flip side, as somebody who benefits from people needing help with the pen, I'm always gonna welcome that. Yes, please keep hiring me. My son loves that. You know what I mean? So you know, but what it is if you are just known for being a dope artist, you make great music, whether it's music you dance to, vibe to, rock, whatever it is, dope. We don't have a problem with you having help. The problem comes in when it's Heads talking about they the nicest, they top 5, they the greatest ever, they the illest, they the meanest. That's when it's a problem. It's not a problem when you know, who could we name? Whoever. You know what I mean? It's not a problem when it's Heads where it's like, okay, I don't go to them for being the greatest. I go to them because they make dope joints, dope songs. I could ride to, I could bump to, I could dance to, whatever it is. Once it starts getting to that, yo, son is it or shorty is it, going crazy. I'm the nicest, I'm the illest, I'll kill whoever. And then you find out that they wasn't doing the shooting, but there was somebody behind them letting it go. That's when it's a problem, you know? So that's my stance on it personally. Like, it ain't no problem getting help. But when you start fancying yourself as one of the nicest and one of the best and top this and top that, and we find out that you got any help, now it's a problem. You know what I mean? Somebody said, did I write for Jay? No, I absolutely did not write for Jay. Jay writes for other people. Jay's been writing for people for years. So
he has.
So I'll clear that.
He's good
up.
at it too.
I don't write for Kendrick and Cole either. Nah, they write too. right. But nah, you know, Jay's been writing for years. Jay wrote Still DRE.
Right.
Yeah.
Jay was writing everything for Foxy, and you know, this is all public record. This is not me doing some expose. Like, this is public record. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Jay's right. You know, Jay's writing for Mad Heads. So, you know.
Hey, Leroy Green want to know real quick. Shout out to Leroy Green in the building. Will we get another Cornerstone Classic project?
Cornerstone Classic. Oh man, you know, I never thought about revisiting that, man. Shout to Leroy, much love. That means you've been tapped in since 2007, because that's when that came out. Much love to you, brother. I never thought about revisiting that. You know, I never was one for part 2s. You know, I never was one for part 2s. I may do, I don't want to say a sequel. I may finish the story, but I never was one for part 2s. So I never thought about that. But I appreciate you being tapped in, bro, since 07, because that's when that came out. So I appreciate that for real. But with the ghostwriting, man, when I go in that room, you know, I become you. So if let's say I'm writing for whoever and they want this type of record, it's a record that as Skyzoo, I would never write or record or put out or anything. But I'm not being Skyzoo in that moment. I'm writing for you. I'm the writer. And the best way to, you know, giving a metaphor of it or kind of analyze it or give an analogy of it, if I got a tailor shop and somebody come in and they're like, yo, I want a Steve Harvey cut suit, you know what I mean? I want a yellow suit with brown stripes and purple
with the big buttons on there,
You know what I'm saying? The yellow suit, brown stripes, purple polka dots. I would never in my life wear that shit. But if that's what you want, I'm gonna put together the best yellow, purple, brown suit ever in life. You know what I mean? So like, get ready, you know, and that's the best way I can describe it, to kind of put it in a certain frame. You know, I would never wear that suit, but if that's what you want, I'm gonna have you going outside to the ball looking right in that weird suit. You know what I mean? So that's what it's about, man. And you know, I won't work on something or someone that I'm you know, something I'm not proud of, but at the same time, I definitely, you know, I've write strip club joint, you know, but I'm not gonna sit there and, you know, write something that I would be like, whoa, this is something I'm totally against this stance, what you're talking about, but I'm gonna just do it. I'm all about morals and integrity and looking in the mirror, without a doubt. That bag leave, another one to come behind it to take its place. So you know, my integrity and my morals is everything. I'm from Brooklyn, so it's gonna be a certain way no matter what, you know. But yeah, that to summarize the ghostwriting, yeah, that's kind of the way it works for me.
Yeah. Hey,
it's interesting that you say that too.
Hold on, real quick, J. Kemp. Before you go in, Jack wants to know, will we get another Barrel Brothers to part 2 real quick before you
Barrel
go in,
Brothers part 2. Oh man, shout out to my brother Torae. Yeah, I don't know. You know, when we did it, you know, you have a group and then you have soloists that come together, and we were 2 soloists that came together because we knew each other since, man, I met Tor in like 05. You know what I mean? 20 years of brotherhood. Met him in 05.
Shout out to
through music. It was all through music, but the connection was so crazy. Both from Brooklyn, both grew up on the same stuff, both spitters, boom, boom, boom. And we was doing so much music together on each other joints. You know, I got a verse on his, he got a verse on mine. We did this show, we did this, whatever, that the people started coming to us and saying, yo, you know, what's up with y'all doing it? It's funny, the way Barrel Brothers started, man, y'all never forget, I was on tour with Ghost. I was on tour with Ghostface in 09.
Shout out Ghost.
Yeah, absolutely. That was actually my first tour ever. I was on tour with Ghostface 2009, and Tour came with me. So, you know, I brought Tour with me and all that, and we running around. We was in Indiana. I'll never forget. After the show,
shout out to Indiana, that's upstate, good.
And this kid came up to us, man. This kid who don't look like none of us, for lack of a better term. He don't look like none of us on the screen. And he came up to us, man, at the merch table. Yo, what's up, man? Boom, 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 whatever. And he pulled out his BlackBerry because it's 09. And he was like, yo, he was like, yo, when is Barrel Brothers coming out? It was like, the hell is Barrel Brothers? He pulled out the BlackBerry and goes to my Wikipedia page. And it has whatever projects and all that in my bio. And it said upcoming projects, Barrel Brothers, album with Torae. And we was like, what the hell is that? Like, so somebody went on Wikipedia and made that up. I don't know who this person is. They deserve all the credit.
Shout out.
They don't want to step up to the table and get the credit. You know what I mean? But like, yo, we was like, yo, what the hell is Barrel Brothers? And he showed us his phone. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. We was like, yo, what's going on, man? And and so we just messed with that. So then a year later on Live from the Tape Deck, I hit Tour. I was like, yo, let's do this joint, man. Let's do a back and forth Kissing Styles type joint. He was like, yeah. He came to Illmind crib. We did the record. He was like, yo, what you gonna call it? And I was like, Barrel Brothers. He bust out laughing. He was like, yo, you stupid, bro. He was like, yo, they gonna kill you on the internet for that shit, man. He was like, you got these people thinking we gonna really do that. So we'll call it Barrel Brothers. He was like, yo, you're an idiot, man. And we that, you know, I called it Barrel Brothers. So of course the talk started, yo, when y'all gonna do it, man? When y'all gonna you know? So just messing around, man. And then we had did a show, A3C in Atlanta. He had a show and he brought me out as a surprise guest, and I came out. And at the end of the show, I was like, oh, by the way, Barrel Brothers next year, and I dropped the mic. And then he looked at me like, yo, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Yo, I ain't say I was gonna do that. I just told the crowd, yo, by the way, Barrel Brothers next year, and I just dropped the mic. And then he was like, so we doing it? I was like, yeah, we doing it. And that was it. You know?
Nice.
So we just wanted to give people what we wanted growing up, right? Like we wanted Jay and Nas, the commission. We wanted Jay and Big. We wanted Jay and Big, the commission. We wanted Nas and AZ, you know, Sosa, Esco. You know, we wanted certain joints, you know what I mean? We didn't get to get them. So we wanted to do that. And we got Red and Meth, you know, which was wonderful always.
Crazy.
Great.
And but there were certain things we wanted and we didn't get it. And it was like, all right, let's give this generation
do it for the people.
Let's do that, you know. And we had a blast, man. We was in the studio every day. Wasn't no emails. You know, we was in the lab every day, and picking the beats together, coming up with concepts together, coming up with ideas. Everything was together. You know what I mean? Like we literally was with each other 365. You know, the whole year. Photo shoots, interviews, video shoots, touring, bugging out in stores. Somebody mentioned they saw us in Philly. I remember that show. I remember
Shout out
that.
80 Expensive.
I remember that show. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
So we with each other every day, man, and that's my brother, you know. So I don't know if we'll ever do one. The door's not closed, but you know, I don't know if we'll ever do one. If we do, that'd be amazing. But if we don't, we did one, you know, and they can't take away what we was, baby. Flip, you know what I mean? Butter and they can't take away what we was, baby. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's my brother. That's my brother. And I'm glad we made history with that and made a banger. You know, the concept on that album, when he was talking about it, I told him, I was like, yo, I know everybody knows me for stories and, you know, all that type of stuff and, you know, introspection. And I was like, that's dead on this. This is just outside on the corner rapping. You know what I mean? Because that's what they want to hear from us. You got to know your crowd and your market. It goes back to even how you pick beats. Like, you got to know what it is. You know what I mean? So I knew what Heads wanted. I was like, yo, Heads want us to just go off every record. You know, Louis belts and rubber bands is my tie. D-boy stance, my hands is by the fire. I been there to triple my plans like a supply. Palms itching, the money plants is like a choir. There ain't too many left on the land that I admire. So really, I'm just rapping for me and a cramped tire. For the love of a double stanza and a buyer and a few expensive habits who prance like they Mariah. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, yo, I know what they want. You know what I mean? So let's just rap. Let's just rap. Let's just go off. You know what I mean?
I mean, and you basically just spoke to like what my question was going to be about the authenticity, because we talked about ghostwriting, and don't get me wrong, I'm glad hip hop has expanded. I'm glad hip hop is global, international. I'm proud of that, but there's a large part of me that misses the authenticity. And you just said I'm giving people what they want, and that makes me really want to. I hope that as a community, we start to give back to artists like you, and we have our own award show. I don't consider BET Awards.
Yo, listen, man, I'm so glad you brought that up, man. That is something that I have wanted to see for so long. I'm very big on us as MCs, as artists, you guys as journalists, everybody in the comments as fans and supporters and family. Us taking our thing back and having our own thing. And I title it the same way all the time. I be telling heads in my circle, yo, we need our own thing, man. And when I say that, it's kind of general on purpose. It's like, you look at all these outlets, whether it's journalism, whether it's, you know, the powers that be, radio, TV, magazines, or what's left of them, or internet, or whatever, and award shows, and like, yo, we need our own thing, man. Like, everybody got their own thing. We need our own thing. And I could sit here and go on a 20-minute rant about it because I feel so strongly about it. You know, like I became a member of the Grammys, like on the Grammy board, because I was like, yo, like I got a Grammy rep, and I was talking to my Grammy rep, and she's awesome, man. Shout to my homegirl Ashton. She's one of us. That she works for the Grammys. She's an underground head. She's awesome. And we talk all the time, and I'm like, yo, you know, I became a member of the Grammys to try to fight for us having more of our own thing, you know, and she agrees all the way with it. Like, absolutely. Like, we need somebody to kind of lead that charge. So it's like a personal vendetta and a personal thing that I've taken on with that. And I don't know how far to go, because the Grammys is the Grammys, but I don't know how far to go. But
hey, it's a great start.
Yeah, we need our own thing, man. We need our own thing. Award show. You know, we used to have it, of course, the Source Awards, Vibe Awards, all that. I heard there was rumors of a XXL Awards back in the day. I remember there was like kind of murmurs about that, and it kind of slowed down. I don't know, you know, where that was or where it landed. But we need our own thing. The problem with us having our own thing, I mean, it'll be political in a heartbeat. You know, it'll be
facts.
How the fuck you want me to son the album of the year, B? Remember I did that thing for you? You know what I mean? Like, that thing for you would turn into other things for you. So
other things,
that'll be what the problem is. But like, we need our own thing, man, because nobody else has to deal with what we have to deal with. And for us to be appreciated, we got to appreciate ourselves first. You know, nobody gonna come in your house treating your house clean.
Clean up your house for you.
House clean. You know what I mean?
So
walk in your crib look nutty, but you mad at me for putting my feet on the table. Like, what we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, and Leroy, yes, the bread is huge too. So somebody, one of these ball players, you know what I mean? One of these sitting on a Billy, you know what I mean? Got to come out and be like, yo, you know what? I'm sitting on a Billy. Yo, take this 2 M's, man, that I'll probably put on an Audemars Piguet or something. Take these 2 M's that I'll probably put on a watch. Yo, get this together. You know what I mean?
And that's
Speaking of
kind of like the point
M's,
too, Bebop.
You know, I can't count.
I'm gonna let you dive in
Pockets.
too.
I can't count nobody's pockets, man. But like,
Yeah.
it's gonna take one of these ball players or somebody to be like, "Yo, take this M, man. Put this together." You know,
Facts.
I got
Facts.
900 more M's. Take this M and do the right things with that. You know, and the right things happen. You know, but I read somewhere recently that Jay was trying to turn the rock and roll Hall of Fame to the hip hop.
Hip hop. Yeah. I saw that too.
Yeah, I read a little article about that, and the dude from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was like, "Yo," he was talking about it, and said Jay came to him and was like, "Yo, it needs to be called the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. Rock and roll is dead." I'm a gigantic Jay-Z fan.
Yeah.
Let's just make the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. We don't have
Facts.
to take the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and flip it, right?
Jay can
First
do
of all, they're never gonna let that happen. So that's cool. They're never gonna let that happen.
Right.
I don't care what. The Rolling Stones and the Beatles and Pearl Jam, they're not letting that happen, right?
Yeah.
Cool, no doubt.
Yeah.
I agree, though. We do need a Hip Hop Hall of Fame. We do need same way these guys get inducted, and it's supposed to mean the world to us as MCs when we get inducted in Rock and Roll Tribe and Jay and Dre and everybody who got in. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Let's just start our own thing, baby. We don't gotta go
Right.
flip on they block. We go around the corner and get busy. Like, we don't gotta go on they're not gonna let us, Frank Lucas, they're not gonna let us take their dope and put it in red bags and call it. They're not gonna do that. Like, go around here with this blue magic. You know what I mean? Like, yo, we need to start our own thing. Like, I respected where he was at with that, and I see the vision, but I'm like, we don't have to go try to change their thing. That will never happen. Then they ain't doing that. Let's keep it a bean.
There's gonna be a lot of
Let's just
pushback.
start our own thing. Why
Well,
not
this is the thing.
go
This
out
thing,
to hip-hop
Skyzoo.
Hall of
What's
Fame?
your thoughts on Nas getting with the Horowitz family, doing the Paid in Full Foundation? What's your thoughts on that?
I don't know too much about that. Put me on.
Basically, what he's doing is every year he's basically giving out $500,000 to 2 to 4 MCs.
Is
And I
that the
think
thing that happened recently when he had
Yes,
like Rakim
yes,
and
yes.
Roxanne? That's super
They had
dope.
Roxanne
That's
Santana.
super dope.
I think
But this
Scarf-
thing, like, it
Scarf
doesn't
is
get any exposure. We the only cast halfway talking about it.
See, I wasn't even really privy. I saw like pictures of him with them, and it was like, oh, some award. It was like Scarface was there and all that.
Yeah,
Okay,
facts.
the Grandmaster Award. Okay,
Yeah.
I think that's amazing, and I think that's an amazing start. And I think the best thing about that, I don't know whose money it is. I don't know if Nas is going to the bank and pulling a check out.
He's going to the Horowitz family that has the
Okay, that's what you're saying. Okay.
he going to the Horowitz to vent in on him. So
It's that
the
venture
Horowitz
capital.
too. Yeah.
It's that venture
Yeah.
capital money. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. And that'll be the start of how an award show comes up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yo, that's the way it should be. Hip hop award shows and hip hop Hall of Fame. A hip hop Hall of Fame is super overdue. So I agree
Facts.
with
Way
Jay
overdue.
on that. It's super overdue, man. So instead of us trying to fight to get in their house, we can go over here and build our own house that they want to be a part of anyway. All they're gonna do is see us pop and want to be a part of it. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame gonna want to buy in and be a part of it and be partners and be, you know what I mean, and get a piece. So it's like we can do our own thing. We have that power, man. And the politics is gonna be there, of course. The money's gonna be there, but if the right people are driving the car, maybe we can get where we need to on the GPS. Like
Facts.
we need our own thing, man. And awards and Hall of Fames, all that. Awards would be tough because a lot of people be getting favors and lookouts. And yo, remember I did that thing for you, baby. I need that out for the year. You know what I mean? Like, I might get
a theme that you kept saying over the last maybe say 10, 15 minutes is we need our own thing.
Yeah.
We need our own thing. And I think everybody couldn't agree with you more, Skyzoo.
Yeah.
And speaking of own thing, it's been a minute since I visited ATL, but
yeah,
how long has it been of you owning the Burger Bistro out in Douglasville, Georgia?
Oh man, yeah, the Burger Bistro out here in the A.
And talk to us about that,
Yeah,
and the business mind that has to go into something like that. And the reason why I asked that was one, we're interested in, that business venture, obviously, in terms of what you do with that.
Yeah.
But also it's the new year, it's the brand new year in 2025, and a lot of folks are wanting to start something new for themselves. So can you talk to us about the mind frame that goes into running a business? Because that's the other side of what we've been talking about this evening.
100%.
Because we talked a lot about creativity and whatnot, but you talking about, hey, we need to own our own thing, and that's what we've been, just needing for the longest time.
100%,
You were already there.
no.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up.
No doubt, no
I
doubt.
appreciate you bringing it up for the people interested in ownership or maybe not even thinking of anything like that, but now they might.
And your menu, of course.
Oh yeah, yeah. So with the joint, I opened up. When was that? November 2022.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you,
Yes,
thank you, man. November 2022. Man, my bread. You know what I mean? I talk about it on the album. A $120 out the bank, I can never retract. You know what I mean? Like I went to the bank. I talk about it on Winds of the Father. I went to the bank and put 6 figures up of mine. You know what I mean? Like 6 figures up of mine, of ghostwriting money and that of mine. Like, let me get some of this. Not all, no flex, but not all, but some. I was like, let me go get 6 figures out of some of my money out and boom, boom. And you know what I mean? And really go all the way with it. And it's amazing, but it is extremely difficult as far as having a restaurant. For those who don't know, he's talking about my restaurant called the Burger Bistro. I actually recently slowed it down because it's so vicious trying to do all these different things at one time. I mean, I was in a space where like I'll be at the restaurant all day because first of all, I wasn't like, any of these rappers. Lil Baby got a seafood restaurant there. I live in Atlanta and everybody know I'm from Brooklyn, but I live in Atlanta and I've been here for about 5 years. So, Lil Baby got a seafood restaurant down here in Atlanta. 2 Chainz got a spot, and I think Killer Mike and T.I. just went half on a spot down here. Yeah. I actually know where that spot is in Atlanta. So, they're not there all day, every day. You know what I mean? And salute to them. It's all brothers I respect and have a lot of admiration for, especially for what they did with the business. But I'm in my spot every day. Literally, you come to my spot and I'm there. Like people would come in as like fans and they would be like, yo, you really here? Like, you know what I mean? Like they would put in a stack of vinyl for me to sign, not knowing if I would be there.
Yeah,
one time this kid came in, he came in and we took care of him, boom, 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 came in with his woman. And at the end of it, he was like, yo, man, I just want to say I'm such a huge fan, man. Boom, boom. I was like, oh, man, thank you. I appreciate that. He was like, yo, we drove 6 hours to be here and come to the spot. I was like, wait. You drove 6 hours and you just saying what's up to me? Like, why you ain't say what's up the moment you walked in the door? He was like, nah, I was nervous, man. I was nervous, but my woman was like, yo, we drove this far. You better say something to him. You know what I mean? And
you better say something to him. Yeah, you better put me in the car of 6 hours.
Right.
She probably looking at her watch like, you better say something.
Bro, I agree with her. Like, like you drove this far, bro. You got to say. So, we flicked it up and I signed everything and all that, but I'm saying that to say, I was there every day. If you came to the spot, 11 to 9, I was there. You know what I mean? Like I was there every day. I was, kicking it with the people. I was handling business. I was in the back. If one of my cooks called out, I was cooking. I was behind the register. If one of the girls called out, got sick or whatever, everything. Like I was there. I'm doing that all day. I'm getting home by like 12 because after the restaurant, you got to clean up, you got to break down your inventory, you got to count money, you got to lock up, whatever. I'm getting home at like midnight. I'm coming right downstairs down here in the basement and writing records and working on the mind of. I was working on the mind of a saint while the restaurant was, while I'm there. Like, I would come home from the restaurant and come saint.
That's perspective.
Like, that's commitment.
At the spot, I'm Skyler, the restaurateur, helping people and taking orders if I had to and doing whatever. And I would come home and turn into saint. You know what I mean? And put that hat on and go hard. And then I was doing this Jackie Robinson documentary at the same time where I wrote all the music for that. And if y'all don't know the Jackie Robinson documentary on Fox Sports,
right? I
was doing all that. And for that documentary, they wanted me to rhyme as Jackie Robinson.
Wow.
And it was so if you've never seen it, all the music, I did all the music, I curated it, I narrated the whole documentary, and then I'm acting in the documentary as well. And they was like, yo, we want you to rhyme as Jackie. And that was some of the wildest shit because you talking about somebody who wasn't even around, like hip hop wasn't even alive
around back then,
when he was active. You know what I mean? Like they wasn't even in the same space at the same time. So like, how do you rhyme as somebody who hip hop didn't even exist when you want me to rhyme? Like, is this Hamilton? Like, it was Hamilton type shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, and it was incredible. It was like rhyme like as Jackie Robinson. It has to be clean because you're talking about a certain era, and it's Fox
Right,
Sports
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
baseball and it's the Dodgers and whatever, and it's Jackie, so he would have never went for nothing that was dirty. Yo, fuck this, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? So like, how do you do that? So one day I'm Saint, the next day I'm Jackie Robinson, then I'm back to Saint, then I'm back to Jackie Robinson, and I'm still at the restaurant. It was crazy. So like,
crazy.
You know, I was going wild. So all that music was happening with the restaurant over there. It was wild, man. So you know, so all that stuff's going on, and I was overwhelmed, man. I was like, yo, I gotta chill for a minute. So you know, I slowed the restaurant down. I paused it for a second, and you know, I'm restructuring and reconfiguring and all that of how I want to do it. You know, every day people out here in Atlanta, yo, when you bringing the spot back?
Bring it back, yeah. We need that food back.
We was killing, man, and you know, on the side, I cook on the side. So like, the restaurant came because people kept telling me, yo, bro, like, you go crazy in the kitchen, like you should do something with this. And I'm just doing it just for fun and love, and at the crib, you know, I cook all the food in my crib, and you know, I throw I got this thing I do called the Big Father's Day Barbecue, and nice. I do it every Father's Day at my crib, and everybody comes to the crib, man, family, friend, blah, blah, blah. All the rappers come, you know, like West Side Gun brings his whole family every year to the crib. Starley brings his whole family to the crib. Mickey Fax brings his whole family to the crib.
Shout out
like,
to Mickey.
Shout out to you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like they come to the crib, you know, for Father's Day. Heads be asking me about it in January. They be like, yo, you still doing the joint? I'm like, bro,
we need that food. Yeah, we need that. Yeah, where the food come in.
Need that. I just wanted to make sure, you know, it's all love. So we do the Big Father's Day joint at the crib every year.
That's dope.
And everybody is always like, yo, the food, man, the food. And I cook all the food. So one year they was like, yo, bro, like, this is crazy. You got to do something with this, man. Like, you're just sitting on all this talent, man. Like, friggin' Bronx Tale. Saddest thing is wasted talent. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, word up, boom, boom. And so, you know, we're going to do this restaurant. So started putting it together, me and my whiz, whatever. And we made it happen. But so when you look at the menu, like, that's all me. Like, that's all my ideas, all my stuff. That's all my work. And but yeah, we had to. It was my choice. I was like, yo, we gotta pause for a second. Like, I gotta take a break. Like, I can't even breathe right now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm literally just going 24 hours a day. Literally, like, we gotta take a break, or I'm gonna tap out. You know what I mean? Like,
well, man, we appreciate you for just tapping into just everything about you. You know, in and outside of music, and to have that level of commitment on. Just on a daily basis, that really means a lot, and that can really take a lot out of a person. So for you to just continue to just keep going when it comes to hip hop, when it comes to You're Welcome, when it comes to, you know, the restaurant business, ghostwriting, split sheets and all that, but then also have, you know, holding down the family. You know,
just being a dad, being a good dad, man.
Yeah,
that's a full-time job.
Favorite job. My most important job out of all of them.
Right, so we salute you, bro.
Raising them right.
Salute you for that.
Man, yeah, I was at a field trip today with my son. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was at a field trip today for like 5 hours. You know what I mean? With all these little first graders. Yeah, and so chaperoning. You know what I mean? And I was the only dad there. You know, so it's what it is. You know what I mean? And the teachers was like, "Hey, Mr. Taylor." So I figured out who you are. And I was like, I'll be trying to keep
you might get a joint about the field trip next. I was speaking as a dad at the field trip. You know,
the teacher was like, "Oh man, it was really good. I went on YouTube. It was really, really good."
I looked you up.
Right, it was one of those.
I looked you up. Oh, here you go. Looking me up, man. Get it.
You know what I mean? He's a dope teacher. It was
gonna do a joint called Chaperone.
I was like, oh man, I be trying to keep these shit separate, man. You know what I mean? But and my son around. You heard courtesy call? Yeah, like so, you know, you go listen to Home Away from Home. My son is 7, so he's off the wall.
He's on it.
Hey, that's what's up, right?
Yeah.
Well, this thing before we get you out of here, Sky. Like I said, we appreciate the time. Just like B1J Camp said, man. We know you a busy dude. We know, but we just had to give you your flowers. We was like, man, we gotta get Sky on the joint. We gotta talk to him. We gotta give him his flowers. We gotta talk about the album. The album's crazy. Before we get you out of here, man, what's your thoughts on this year? Last year was start off a little crazy, then it ended up, man, we got your album, Shay Noir, we got some Rock Marciano, we got some real heavy hitters.
Yeah.
What's your plans for this year, man? What can cats look out for other than shout out to Touch? He said you got a ticket for your March 1st show. He said it's gonna be crazy up in there.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
that's in
nice.
Canada if my
Yeah.
calendar is right.
Yeah. He up in Canada, so salute.
See you there.
But what are we going to get some music this year? Like,
Oh, yeah,
and then
you
also,
might-
what's your thoughts about the industry too before we get out of here? Like, where do you see it going? Because you've seen it go from magazines to what we
Yeah.
doing right now. So again, are we going to get some music? And also, where do you see this thing going before we get up out of here?
Yeah, as far as the music, you know, I'm definitely dropping something before the year's over. You know, I drop
Okay.
once a year.
Let's
I'm
go.
not the
Let's
once
go.
a week. You know what I mean? I
Alright.
think that's overkill. But I'm definitely, I drop once a year. So something will be coming out this year. I got some ideas in mind of what I want to do. But right now, it's really just about keep me company. You know, the album's only a month old. It came out Black Friday, December 29th. And yo, the album came out the 29th. 2 days later, December 1st, I was on a plane to Europe. You know what I mean? So like, I dropped the joint. 48 hours later, I was on the bird. I was out, you know, and I was in Europe performing the album every night. So now I'm home. I get to perform the album in the States for the first time. I get to perform it in Canada, Japan, and South Africa, and all the other things I got coming up later this year. So it's about the album, man, at least for the next 7-8 months. It's about this album. I'm gonna take some time at some point and knock another project out. I got some ideas I'm brainstorming on that y'all will see down the line if it all comes to fruition. But for right now, it's about keep me company, man. And as far as the year and the music and where we are and other things, you know, musically, we're in a space that can be good or bad, or good and bad at the same time, because you can do what you want. You can go in your crib, knock out an album, put it out tomorrow, tune, you know, get your tune core on and all that, and go crazy. You know what I mean? And that can be a great thing, and it can be a bad thing. You know, you literally have, you know, however many millions of people trying to get in the same door. There was a time where you had to know somebody with a studio, get in the studio, pay, have an engineer, blah 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 blah,
down masters,
an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to have some equipment. Now you can literally, you know, record whole albums on your phone and put it out and keep it moving, and you can just do whatever you want, and that's dope because there's so much talent out here that we could find. But at the same time, there's so much room for error for people who should not be in it. Like I love basketball. I love the Knicks. I can't go out there tomorrow and just start a league and go play. Like I can't go just, yo, I'm on the Knicks today. Like I can't do that. You know what I mean? But you can say, yo, I'm a rapper today. You know what I mean? You can't even say, yo, I'm a trumpet player today. I'm a guitar player today. You can't even do that. Because you have to really know what you're doing. You have to really know notes and reading music and, you know, tone and key. And, you know, you have to know all these things. You can literally wake up tomorrow and be, yo, I'm a rapper today. And that, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot to that. And that's why there's so much dialogue and conversation about where the game is and what the problems are, because there's so much room for error. But at the same time, there's so much room to find so many dope artists. So it's give and take. It's good and bad, you know? Podcasting, you got brothers like yourselves who have an illustrious podcast right here. Then you got somebody who might be coming on right after y'all who's a bunch of nonsense. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing. They can go to Best Buy, spend $100 on the podcast kit, and sit down with their homie and get busy. You know, like I be seeing emails from Best Buy,
podcast like, kit. Here you go. We're ready to go.
Podcast kit, $99.95. I'm like, oh, what? Like. So, you know, you got a mic, little 8-track mixing, blah, 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 little light up buttons. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy. So, you know, now y'all dealing with that. Now y'all sitting here like, man, we just trying to do the right things for the people. We got our thing together. Our intro theme music is crazy. Our segues and montage, and we got our lighting and everything is good. We got good cameras. We got good questions, dialogue. We know the music. We know the game. And here, yo, these MFers, blah, 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 doing all this. So it's this, y'all dealing with the same thing now, you know? So it's a wild time. You know, independence is everything, good and bad. You know, independence is everything in this shit now. But it's all how you run it and how you work it, man. But there's a lot of music out there that I'm into. You know, a lot of artists that I'm working with right now, like my man Dante Thomas out of Portland is insane. You know, his album, you know, Apple a Day, we put that out last year. Dante. Yeah, we put that out on FGR. Oh, man. My man Landon Wordswell, who I toured with a lot, we putting his album out in February through FGR. His album's crazy. I'm on there a couple times, and he got a couple really, really dope features, and he's really, really great album coming out. There's a kid I've been bumping kind of nonstop, man. Well, my man O'Shea Boyd out of LA. He's incredible.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Shout out to
like little
O'Shea.
bro. O'Shea is nuts, man. Really, really,
Okay.
really dope. If you're from LA, y'all got one, man. Stand up. There's a kid I've been really bumping nonstop. This kid Kenny Mason out of Atlanta.
Okay.
We gotta
Kenny
check
Mason.
him out. All right.
Definitely gotta
Shoot
check
Kenny
him out.
Mason.
So
Check 'em
Kenny
all out.
Mason,
Yeah.
Kenny Mason
Salute.
is incredible.
If you
And
get,
he
if you
outta
get the
here, right?
Skyzoo stamp, you know what's good.
Yo, and he out of here already, right? Like he's
Yeah.
just not in our lane, in our world. Like the kids rock with him, 25s
I'm
and
so
22s.
focused.
That's cool.
Yeah,
But he's out of here. The
Outta
best way
here,
to describe him, man, I tell heads, I don't know if y'all wire heads or not. I
Come
tell
on.
heads,
Yes. Yeah, come
Here
on,
we go.
man.
The
Here we
5th
go.
season was based on one of my family. So yeah.
What's that?
Iceberg. One of my cousins was married to the is married to the mayor of Baltimore.
Oh, word up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know
You
that
said the
5th
third season?
5th.
5th season.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I'm
well-
trying to think because I know third was City Hall. That's why I said third.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was
Word
the
up.
5th one.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
So-
crazy.
And
Word up.
Iceberg watches it once a year, so
I watch it twice a year.
twice a
There
year.
we go.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm
okay.
on my
So-
fourth season right now.
There you go.
Best season of television ever of any
Yeah.
show, man. Season 4. So
Man.
speaking of, Kenny Mason is if Michael Lee decided to rap.
Dang. Michael was crazy.
Kenny Lee is Kenny
wow.
Mason is the best way to describe him. I was telling Pooh, I was telling Big Pooh, we was on the tour together in Europe.
Shout out Big Pool.
Big
Yeah, I was
Pooh.
telling my bro
Yeah.
rapper Big Pooh, I said,
Salute
bro,
to, rapper Big
Carolinas.
Pooh. Yeah.
Rapper.
I said,
Yeah.
check out this kid Kenny Mason.
Fun Chicalos,
And,
my guy.
I was like, he's like if Michael Lee decided to rap.
Sorry to rap.
Kenny Mason, he does Atlanta trap shit because he's from Atlanta, but it's wild lyrical, it's wild poetic.
Kenny Mason.
And you can hear the pain in it, you can hear the disposition in it, you can hear the way Michael kind of looked like he didn't really give a fuck because he didn't trust nobody, but then you knew that there was something there that he had went through, some distress.
Big paws on a puppy.
All of that's there. It's
Yeah.
Michael Lee decided to rap. That's Kenny Mason. And he do trap records, but he's big on rock and roll. He's big on like Smashing Pumpkins and shit. So he'll have a record where he's talking trap shit with a Smashing Pumpkins type dun, 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 like, and then the next record is a friggin' T.I. trap
Something
record.
different, yeah,
Yo,
yeah.
he's wild,
Okay.
man. Kenny
Kenny
he got an album
Mason,
called
I'm on
Angel
it.
Eyes. He's wild, man. Like,
Yeah.
like the whole album is him
We gotta
trying to
tap in with him.
Yeah, we gotta tap in with
yeah,
it.
the whole album
Yeah.
is like his homeboy picking him up, and he on the west side of Atlanta. He trying to get to the east side of Atlanta to see his grandfather before his grandfather died. Like it's wild, man. Like Kenny Mason is crazy, bro. Like my bread on Kenny. Lady London is probably the greatest female rapper ever.
Lady down there, hold it down.
Lady London, nice.
is insane,
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's nice. Yeah.
insane. Like her work, man, her bar work.
Oh, she,
It don't make sense.
Crazy, huh?
It makes absolutely no sense.
Lady London's nice.
I tell her that all the
Cool.
time. It makes absolutely no sense how nice she is. Lady,
She can be she can be as special she want to be.
yo,
Special she want to
she's
be.
insane. She's insane. I can't wax poetic enough about her, man. So yeah, there's good work out here, man. There's good work out here. You just got to dig to find it. You know what I mean? And but while you digging, I'm glad my joint is in your pocket. You know, I'm glad keep
Already.
Hey, first of all, let's be clear. We bought 4 copies. We're gonna be giving out these 4 digital copies, man.
Oh, man, that's
so
real.
just stay tuned for later on after Skyzoo leaves. We're gonna be talking about
Yeah.
it. But again,
Man, that's
we
real.
bought 4 copies. We want y'all to do the same. Vinyl coming, physical copies coming of this one.
Yeah, they out. So I have them when I go on the road, and then
Alright.
we're doing. I think this Friday we're gonna start orders for everybody.
Can you send me the link? Well, obviously you're gonna put a link up, but when you put the link up, we'll put the link up. We're gonna be having people buying physicals. You know what I mean?
sure.
We're gonna
Make
buy
sure
a
to
couple.
get the physical.
Let's be clear.
Yeah, I
gotta
got
get the
a-
physical.
boxes
Yeah,
right here in the
yeah.
crib. But yeah, they'll be available on the web store. Starting this Friday, if I'm not mistaken. I was talking to my man with the distro today, and he was saying the link should be ready. Everything should be ready by Friday for the
When
people.
you post them, we gonna post them. When
Of
we
course,
copping
yeah,
a couple
you know,
copies. Let's
post that
be
and put
clear.
that out
You
there
know what I
and all
mean?
that. Yeah, I'm gonna put that out there for the people. And man, so we just keeping it going, man. I appreciate y'all letting me go on and on here on the show.
You good?
Man, it's been an honor and a privilege. It's always dope talking to people who really get it. you know, I do a lot of interviews, and you could tell when heads really understand it and get it, and you could tell when heads don't. And it's always good, like-minded individuals, like-minded brothers who are in it for the right reasons, in it for the right things.
Yes,
Didn't go to Best Buy and get a podcast kit, you know what I'm saying? Like, did the right things and all that, man. And you brothers is appreciated out here. Like I said, I can't scroll without seeing y'all, and I love it. You know
Hey,
what I mean?
and we love the work that you've been putting in for over
Facts.
2 decades, man. Your
absolutely,
talent
man.
in hip hop is nothing short of phenomenal, as is your catalog of albums with Keep Me Company and the ones prior, serving as really one of the top tier albums of 2024 that dropped. And we don't say that artificially
We don't say
to
that,
boost
nah.
egos or nothing like that.
Yeah,
like you said, you see it on the social media. So
Yeah.
we put it up
9.3. Let's be clear. 9.3 out of 10. Let's
There we
be
go.
clear.
There we go. There we go.
Y'all got to cop this. Keep Me
9.3.
Company.
Yeah,
This is the thing. When I heard James Baldwin after the first record, when I heard J. Rose, Chuck D on the hook, no skips.
warning.
This is the album you need to listen to. I understand the LL. I understand the GNC. We had to get Skyzoo on because this is one of the most important albums
Yes.
that you will ever put in your ears right now. This is
really
what
is.
hip hop needs to be talking about. The Million Man March joint, 95.
Yeah.
Talk that.
The stuff you talking about on the record is just crazy, man.
I just connected with Son too. I just connected with Allende, man. He DM'd me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And
That's what's
Okay.
up. That's what's up.
he DM'd me and sent me his number, and we started building. So we actually supposed to get together next week, man. He was it was dope, man. Good, cool
Yeah.
brother, man. He hit me. He was like, "Yo, man, track 4, man. I appreciate it." And I was like, "Wait, this you?" Because his name is, you know, his Twitter name isn't his name. It's one of those, you know, sometimes people would be a whole different name.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Is this Son?" You know, and I was like, "Oh, snap, it's Son." You know what I mean? So, you know, we started building, man, and he was like, "Nah, I appreciate that, man. Let's get together, man." And you know, we started building. So, yeah, it's love, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Everything y'all said is the reasons why people like myself do it the way we do it. You know, we talked off air about it, and I told y'all I would go back to it for the people, and I'll leave it on this. I know we've been on here for a while, but you know, when you're on a certain side of the fence, there's reasons why you do this a certain way, right? Like myself and other artists, other MCs who are in a similar lane, in the same lane as me, you know, we could easily get up tomorrow and be like, "Yo, you know what? We're gonna get on this trap shit. Yo, we're gonna get on this. We're gonna get on whatever it could be to get us this $300-400 million. We can at least attempt it. It doesn't mean it's gonna work for everybody, but we can at least attempt it. And that's why you have all these attempts going on, and you know, it don't go the way it need to. But when you decide to move this way, you know the highs and lows of it. You know the people, critical acclaim, the love, the boom, whatever. But then you also know, yeah, it's gonna be very difficult to come off on $200-300 million to set your generations up forever. It don't mean you broke. I'm far from it. Thank God. I just talked about going to get 6 figures, but I'm far from it. But at the same time, I'm very far from 300 M's. You know what I mean? So, you know, when you're doing it for this, on this side of the fence, you're doing it for the love. You're doing it for the respect. You're doing it for the acclaim even. You know, I'll be lying if I ain't sit here and say, hell yeah, I want album of the year every year. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, your heart is in the right place. You know, if somebody going out there on the court and every year they aim to be MVP, every year they aim to get a chip, every year they aim to get defensive player of the year, that means their heart is in the right place. If you're just going out there, you know, putting up shots and getting the bag every night, you just went to work every day. But if your goal, you know, Mike used to be like, yo, I'm getting defensive player of the year this year. Yo, I'm getting someone this year. Yo, we didn't. I mean, your heart is in the right place. That means you're doing it for the right reasons. So for us to want that every year, that means there's something about us in the right place, man. So we do it for this. We do it for these conversations. We do it for this dialogue. We do it for the way y'all hear the music and the way y'all receive it, and love being reciprocated, boomerang, boom, boom. That's why we do it. So, you know, when y'all tap in like this, it's more proof of making the right decisions of going in this direction. So thank you, brothers, for real.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank
you.
you.
Leaving a legacy.
Love.
You leaving a legacy. That's the whole point.
Listen,
of it.
anytime y'all need me, anytime you know, I drop a record, if y'all want me on here, if y'all see fit, you know, I would love to do it. You know, y'all are one.
Oh yeah,
y'all
we
one
definitely want to put you
little
out
bit
there.
of typing away. You know what I mean? I would love to continue to be a part of it.
Appreciate
Anytime
it,
I got
man.
something going on.
Oh, you ain't a guest no more, brother.
Yeah.
It's
You family
on.
now. Now you can come in and do them laundry you was talking about when you come in the house now. You know what I mean?
What's up? Yeah.
You
But
go
now, like I
straight
said,
to
man,
straight to the fridge, grab you a soda, like you
Right.
good.
Yeah.
Hey man, where can people financially support you, man? The merch is just on the website? Because again, I'm putting up the old school music link.
Yeah, that's
Is
perfect.
that the joint?
Yep, you can keep running
All
that.
right.
That's perfect.
Big.
You know
All right.
that's gonna redirect to everything.
All
When
right,
the vinyl
big.
come out,
Nice.
it'll probably be in that same link when the vinyl come out this weekend.
Okay.
You know, on tour, you know, I'm always
Yeah.
at that merch table. I always got everything with me. You know, anybody want to get with me, you know, I run all my social media. My email is in my bios. I'm very easy to build with and converse with, and whether it's do business or just show love. Sometimes people just hit me just showing love, and people just I just wanted to email you, man, and say I love your music, boom, 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 and I hit them right back on the email. Yo, thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's love. Tap in, blah blah blah, and now we looped in. Now it's in sync, you know. So it's love. It ain't just hit me when you want to buy something off me. Like, nah, just hit me to show that love, man, and I'll show that love back because we need that. You know, sometimes
We do.
Bro.
Sometimes heads will be like, they'll meet me, whether it's in person or digital, whatever, and they'll be like, yo, man, you know, I don't want to seem like a dick rider, but you know, I just want to, and I'll be like, nah, I'm gonna stop you right there. Like, there's nothing about that says that. Nothing about showing the love says that you're a dick rider. Like, we need that, especially again on this side of the fence. If I'm making 400 million in a year, whether you love me or not, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when it's not about that, when it's not about that type of motive, the love is a big part of why heads will continue to do it. A lot of heads will stop and be like, yo, man, this shit ain't working. But they'll get that love one day and be like, yo, you know what? I'm going to keep going. I was bugging. All they need is that continued love. So when you're on this side of the fence, the love is a big driving factor of it. So please never stop showing the love, man. Like, trust me, when I first met Penny, it was all types of flowers and love and bouquet. It was like, yo, bro, you Penny, bro. I don't care what dick ride, nothing.
He's that
you
dude.
Penny, and I'm gonna let you know you Penny, bro. You know what I mean? So like, you know, every year on Jadakiss' birthday, I hit him every year and I say, yo, thank you for being my superhero. Every year. You ever interview
That's
Kiss?
cool.
You know what I mean? Like, every year on his birthday, I hit him. I'll be like, yo, you my superhero still. Thank you. Him and yo,
nice, man. He's a lot of our superheroes too, man.
I'll be like, nah, you still my superhero, bro. You know what I mean? Like, no matter how long I've known you, it's still like when I was 13. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so it's love, you know?
Man, it's always important to revere others and put your name on it.
Absolutely.
Oh, shoot. Kind of reminds me that verse you spit. Was it? I've been an originator. If my name's on them, the
man.
So on a day to day, I'm stuck for
speed
racing. Dudes hating. On a day to day.
It came out in like 06.
Oh man, yeah, with Lil Brother. Go ahead, bro.
And well, I'm just saying again, man, this is why we had to give you your flowers, man. Because again, you've been holding it down for so long. Like the way you do things, you represent Brooklyn, you represent your family right, you represent your son right, and you represent hip hop right. And this is why we had to give you flowers today, man.
A real ambassador,
you getting it from us,
hip-hop.
man, and our fans.
That's real,
man. Real talk.
That's real.
Yeah.
Man,
So
thank you,
please
brothers,
keep
man.
doing your thing, man. We need it.
man. This has been excellent. And anytime you need me, please let me know. I'm here.
Facts.
This has been awesome. And I don't know what cities y'all individually at, but if I'm ever in your city with a show, if you see the flyer come up with the tour,
We there.
please come out, man.
Oh,
you know,
I'm there, bro.
You know what I'm saying? You know, we're going to get this Henny on the rocks and vibe out after the show a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
What you talking about?
Yeah.
Absolutely. See, I gotta catch up. I gotta get mine right now at my bar, man. Y'all gonna get, you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Go
Sky.
late to the party. Three cup much? I'd have had mine if I knew I was, you know what I mean? Come on, man. Oh, man, no, baby. You know what I mean?
Word up.